Update, brought to you by Simcox Advocates, advising businesses and families since 1949. Visit simcox.com or call 690 300. Manx Radio's Update with Andy Wint.
Pastor Mai, good evening. It's 5:30. This is Update for Wednesday, 7th of June, 2023 from Manx Radio. 30 minutes to look at the latest news on the island, background to the news and sport and business and Sea Watch and travel updates, and the newsmakers in person this evening. The latest from TT 2023. Braddon commissioners have objected to 320 new homes. Preschool credit from first birthday may be introduced. Beware of Roundstone Finance Limited, a surprise in his racing leathers, and there's a crash in the west of the island. Archaligan Road is closed.
Man Benham for all your business and legal needs.
First of all, at 29 minutes ahead of 6 o'clock, the Update News headlines. Faster Mai, Siobhan Fletcher.
Faster Mai. Police are currently dealing with an RTC on the back road from St John's to Archaligan. The road is currently closed. Drivers are being asked to avoid the area. Nursing staff on the Isle of Man are being consulted over another pay offer put forward by Manx Care. The Royal College of Nursing says the health body has offered a £1,000 consolidated payment for the pay year 2022 to 2023. That's in addition to the 6% it's already offered. Police climbed through a river and a barbed wire fence to make an arrest this afternoon. It's after reports of a drone at Sulby Bridge during the TT races. The devices are prohibited within 1,000 metres of the course. Further afield, Ukrainian officials estimate 42,000 people are at risk from flooding following an explosion that destroyed a dam in southern Ukraine. Kyiv and Moscow blame each other, but neither has produced conclusive evidence. Expected temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius have led to this year's first heat health alert in the UK. It'll start on Friday morning and cover 6 areas of England until Monday. And one of England's standout players during the World Cup in Qatar is headed to Spain. Jude Bellingham is going to Real Madrid for £86 million. They're your headlines. News at 6.
Man Benham. Contact us by phone, video call, email or face-to-face. We're happy to connect with you. Manx Radio Weather with Manx Glass and Glazing.
Goramaya, thank you, Siobhan, from the Ronaldsway Met Office. There's no wind warning in operation for the North Irish Sea. State of sea currently smooth or slight, occasionally moderate tomorrow morning. And this evening, dry, partially cloudy, sunny spells. A light breeze coming in from the east. The overnight minimum is 11 Celsius. For Jadane, Thursday tomorrow, cloudy start, clearing to plenty of sunshine in the afternoon, especially in a light to moderate easterly. Daylight maximum 19, down to 11 through the night. Into bank holiday Friday, dry with sunny periods, a moderate to fresh easterly, and up to 19 degrees. Tides on the way out. Low waters at 9 tonight. Sunset 13 minutes to 10. High tide 8 minutes before 3 a.m. Sunrise 13 minutes before 5. And the morning low water at 18 minutes past 9.
The Manx Glass and Glazing showroom is currently closed for TT and will reopen on Monday the 12th of June.
Just to reiterate, you're being asked to avoid the west of the Isle of Man. Archaligan Road from the Erie Plantation to the Hope Crossroads is closed. Loops Road and the Hope closed as well. Police are dealing with an incident. We'll give you more details as we get them. Braddon Commissioners is objecting to a planning application which would see 320 homes built on fields next to Braddon School. The application's yet to go to planning, but has attracted a number of responses from residents in the nearby area. As our local democracy reporter Emma Draper.
The Commissioners say it is objecting to the planning application on 5 grounds. The principle of development, housing mix, design, landscape and highways and access. Currently, the application features houses, 80 of which would be affordable, a primary school and a nursery. In a statement, the authority says it welcomes the reduction in houses from 328 to 320, the removal of a care home to allow for green infrastructure and changing the layout of the planned estate to allow current homeowners privacy from the new houses. However, the Commissioners say the changes don't go far enough. It would like to see a further reduction in the number of houses being built. Recommendations from the area plan for the east suggest around 300. There are also issues with limited provision for 1 or 2 bed houses planned in the development, and says the proposals offer little variation and interest. The local authority also says having a single point of access from the estate onto Braddon Road will lead to queues and aggressive driving. If this proposal does go ahead, the development will require substantial earthworks, including foresight access, which will have an unacceptable adverse effect on the road. Hartford Homes, the developers, say in the application that the proposal will help attract and retain the economically active population, which supports the vision of the government.
Finance, employment law and the rights to maternity leave have acted as the biggest barriers to couples looking to start a family, but that could change soon. 15 recommendations are due to be put to Tynwald. It would see pre-tax credit extended to include children from the age of 1 and payments to be made to parents at specific milestones in a child's life. Chair of the Select Committee of Tynwald on Population Rebalancing, Michelle Haywood, MHK.
It's a chicken and egg situation, isn't it? It's one of the things that is an issue now, that there are lots of parents who can't afford childcare, so therefore they choose to drop out of the workforce entirely rather than using the local nursery. And so that kind of reduces the number of people within any catchment area that would be your customers as a nursery. But of course, the beauty of having vouchers is if mums want to, is they can opt to take advantage of those vouchers. It will drastically reduce their costs in childcare and allow them back into the workplace, but also mean that there's a greater customer base essentially for the nurseries. And so we have seen some childcare facilities closing down. I'm hoping that a move like this signals very firmly that the government is on the side of families and working families in particular. The amount that you got for a first child was a fixed amount, and then you got a reduced amount for the second child, and second children are no less expensive. You're into the same level of expense, and I think it was a signal at the time that almost punished families. We can trace some of these changes and the falling birth rate, we can trace back to the VAT crisis and when support started being cut, so cutting things like nurseries at schools. You can start to see the birth rate tail off at that point. When I saw the UK's changes coming through, we'd already got that in draft format at that point, and I was sat there thinking, well, it's the way to go. If we want to attract working age people to the Isle of Man, and working age people with families in particular, we can't afford to be behind where the UK is in terms of provision of access to childcare. But I'm actually hoping that the other changes coming through, mothers who are reluctant sometimes to have additional children because of the impact that it has on their ability to work and their careers, that actually changes in employment law and the changes in how we're supporting those families allow them to take a break, to have baby, and then go back into the workplace.
Update brought to you by Simcox Advocates, advising businesses and families since 1949. Visit simcox.com or call 690 300.
Later on, the latest from TT 2023, but it was a celebration of a different kind at the end of the second sidecar race today. TT racer Alan Founds and passenger Colin Smythe finished in 11th position in the race won by, guess who? The Birchall brothers. But Alan Founds had a surprise up his leathers at the finish line.
When I started racing before, Jay grabbed me and I said, what have you got for good luck, mate? And he goes, here's me lucky lollipop. So I've had this lollipop down my leathers all pants, and it's been rubbing on my groin all the way. And actually what it was meant to be was a ring to this woman here, because I always said when I finish the race, I'm going to get down on one knee.
We're getting a live proposal.
And this, with my magic lollipop, will you marry me?
Of course I'll marry you, Ellen. It's a Radio TT first. Rounds of applause. And Carla, Alan's partner, receiving the lollipop, which has been down his leathers for 3 laps. I'm not quite sure I'd want that lollipop, but still absolutely amazing. We'll try and get a photograph of this if we can. Carla completely overcome, and lots of the other sidecar competitors coming over and giving their congratulations. Carla, I don't want to stick a microphone in front of your face. I'm not sure you'll be able to say very much at the moment.
Oh, Beth, I don't know what to say. Me and Alan have been through some real tough times, as you know, and He's my soulmate and I love him and he knows I love him. And I am so proud of how he has held himself this last week, more than a week. Oh my God.
Will you be travelling to the church in a sidecar? That's what we need to know.
Oh God, you know a sidecar's going to be involved, Bev. Oh God, and with us Bounds lot, it's going to be one hell of a party, isn't it?
The Isle of Man's finance regulators warning those who've used a potentially fraudulent website claiming to represent a company based in Douglas, you could become the victim of fraud or identity theft. Isle of Man Financial Services authorities say it's been unable to establish any legitimate link between RoundstoneFL.com and any genuine Manx registered business. The story from Sean Cowper.
The FSA says the website claims it offers a wide range of financial products, but that it would require a licence with the authority to offer such services. Roundstone Finance Limited doesn't have a licence with the FSA, nor is it registered with the authority. The FSA says there is a genuine Isle of Man company named Roundstone Finance Limited, but that it's not linked to the website, which has cloned the genuine company's details in an attempt to give the fraudulent website some credibility. As a result, the regulator says it's concerned any person who may have accessed the website could potentially become a victim of fraud and is urging anyone who's used the website to notify the police. Anyone who believes a company may be operating without the required licence can contact the FSA's Enforcement Division by emailing enforcement@iomfsa.im or calling 689 311.
Sea-Watch with the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company.
Motorship Ben McCree departed Heysham at 6 minutes past 2. She's safely on the link span in Douglas Harbour. Will be departing this evening at 8:15 to Heysham just after midnight. The overnight departure 2:15 back to Douglas at 6:15 tomorrow morning. High-speed craft Manannan left Douglas at 3 o'clock this afternoon. She's just about to arrive in Liverpool. Will be departing Liverpool at 7:15 back to Douglas at 10:15. Manannan has a late night departure from Douglas 11:15 tonight, arriving in Belfast at 2:15 a.m, leaving Belfast at 3 a.m, back to Douglas at 6 tomorrow morning. And the morning departures, Manannan heads from Douglas to Liverpool at 7:30. Ben McCree goes to Heysham at 8:45.
Follow the Steam Packet on Twitter for the latest sailing information.
The Manx Wildlife Trust looking for new volunteers to keep its outlet in Peel from closing down. Current volunteer Hilary Paul and the Trust Chief Exec Lee Morris says this is what's expected.
We've got a wonderful gift shop in Peel that for years has been run by volunteers, and for various reasons over the last probably few months actually, we've lost volunteers for different reasons. And just getting a succession has been really, really difficult for us, which has meant now that the shop's actually closed quite a bit at the time. Now, that's, I guess, difficult for us as a charity because it's a really needed income, but also the shop in Peel is a really attractive thing. So for Peel to have our shop closed, it's slightly detrimental on Peel, especially when it's TT. I mean, at the Sunday I came down, the shop was closed on Sunday. So yeah, we've lost a few volunteers for various reasons, some of them quite sad, but volunteers have stepped away or not been able to come anymore. We've got a lovely team of volunteers. It's a really nice place to volunteer, everyone tells me. And really we're just hoping that we might, a few people out there might want a really nice place to come and give a few hours every week working with nice people in our shop, doing nice things to support Manx Wildlife Trust. They need to be people that are quite happy meeting other people. So for many people, in Blunt, it's people working behind our till, selling things to people coming in our shop. But it is more than that. People do come in generally and just ask for information. So we need we need people that are happy to chat, promote the Wildlife Trust, promote Manx nature and the island. So a little bit of an ambassador, but people that genuinely like meeting people. And we are, I think the sort of person that comes in a Wildlife Trust shop is pretty nice as well. So it's nice people for nice people.
It's fun, really. It used to cost me a lot of money coming in to volunteer because there's always something new in the wildlife shop that you can buy, and it's really good. You do see lots of nice people. The people that come into the shop come in because they want to give money to wildlife, really, as well as doing their shopping.
Manx Radio Business Briefing.
At 16 minutes before 6 in corporate news, Vodafone rose following a report that it and CK Hutchison are in the final stages of agreeing to merge their British operations, with a long-awaited announcement expected as soon as Friday or maybe early next week. The structure of the agreed deal is in line with Vodafone's announcement in October, with the British group owning 51% and Hutchison owning 49%, achieved by adjusting the ownership of debt rather than exchange exchanging cash. And for a full daily market report, go to RamseyCrookall.com. The Daily and Sunday Telegraph and Spectator magazine are set to be put up for sale due to debts owed by their parent group. Receivers Alex Partners have now taken control of the group and replaced the Barclay family, the current owners. The receiver said it doesn't expect the changes to affect the operations of the papers, which are profitable. Lloyds Bank, who own the debt, has placed B.UK, a Bermuda-based holding company controlled by the Barclay family, into receivership. It's unlikely to recover the original value of the loan, worth hundreds of millions of pounds. The receivers confirmed that Howard and Aidan Barclay have been removed as directors.
The Stock Market Report. Brought to you by Ramsey Crookall.
UK and European stocks closed slightly lower. US stocks opened upwards after a surprise drop in Chinese exports. Gold price lower and oil edged higher. The numbers now from Ramsey Crookall at the close in London. The FTSE 100 fractionally down, 0.05% down at 7,624, but still down. The DAX closed down 0.2% in Frankfurt at 15,960. In New York City a short time ago, the Dow Jones Industrial up 0.2% at 33,633. The Nasdaq Tech Stocks Index down almost 0.5% at 13,216, and the S&P 500 in Chicago down almost 0.1% at 4,220. In the exchange markets, the British pound sterling trading at $1 24.4 cents, €1 16.3 cents, and 23 South African rand 76.4 cents. In commodities, gold's down 0.75% at $1,947 per troy ounce, and a barrel of Brent crude up nearly 2% at $76.52.
You've got an investment plan?
Yeah, Mike set it up.
But don't you need loads of money to do that?
Not this one. It's called Shearwater from Ramsey Crookall, and you pay in monthly as little as £100. So it's like saving regularly, really helping us invest in the future. For a house, or the kids' education.
£100 a month? I could easily do that.
You should. The sooner you start, the better.
Invest in your future with as little as £100 a month. Shearwater from Ramsey Crookall, the island's investment specialist for 75 years. Call 717171 or visit ramseycrookall.com. Licensed and regulated by the Isle of Man Financial Services Authority.
The Isle of Man in 30 minutes. Update on Manx Radio with Andy Wint.
Fast by, the number of visitors choosing to camp during their visit to the Isle of Man appears to have dwindled this TT, the opinion of several campsite operators who've told us numbers are down. Peter Quayle runs Glen Lock campsite.
There's been lots of people just coming for 4 days or 4 nights. The change in programme has, some people have been a bit disappointed. They booked thinking they were coming and being able to see the senior. With the senior changing to the Saturday, they will miss it, which is disappointing. But others have come and they've had 4 days of glorious sunshine, and they've seen 2 or 3 really good races, or a practice in 2 races. So there doesn't seem to be quite the number of bikes that come. We seem to get a lot more motorhomes and vans, which I think that's mainly down to the cost of coming. It's easier for them to come in a van with the bikes in the back. Just the cost of the steam packet are just unbelievably high. And as you say, the cost of living generally has been a major factor in people's ability to have a longer holiday.
For John Clegg, one of the directors at Isle of Man campsite Onken, believes high travel costs to travel to the island could be a reason why numbers are dwindling.
It has been pretty busy, although there is a slight decrease in numbers this year, but it's still all good, happy. It's just slightly less, I'd say. The cost of travel as well is quite high, and but it's quite quiet everywhere, I believe. A lot of the people that are staying here are saying that just astronomical, the prices of the boat. And I think a lot of people had to cancel this year because of the prices of the boat, last minute, because they just couldn't come anymore. There is a decrease in the amount of people, but some people are staying for longer periods. It's I'd say probably about 30% less than last year.
Francesca Thompson is the warden of the Peel campsite. She says they too have seen a decrease.
Around about 350 people in this year, and it's definitely the same people that are coming back from previous years. So I think it's financially the climate that we live in. Nobody has the money to travel anymore. I do think Manx Grand Prix is busier though.
Manx Radio Sport.
Faster by Rob Pritchard.
Faster my good evening. As was the case yesterday, there was a 2-race schedule taking place on the Snaefell Mountain course this afternoon. First up was the Sidecar TT Race 2, and just like in the first race, it was a certain duo from Mansfield that would make history again. Having set a new sidecar lap record on Saturday of 120.357 miles an hour, Ben and Tom Birchall went even better today, as not only did they take victory once more, they did so with a fastest lap of 120.645 miles an hour. It takes the brothers on to 14 TT victories, level with TT legend Mike Halewood, and after taking the checkered flag, both were almost lost for words.
What a great day, what a fantastic TT. Thanks to everyone for coming, for being part of it and for helping us do this. We've got some fantastic sponsors, friends, mates and family. It's just great, and I don't know really what to say. I'm so happy. The crowd out there is amazing, and it's just been a fantastic TT. And
the banks are just lined with people, and I said it before, but I mean it just spurs you on. Fans make it here.
Then there was a quick turnaround for the Super Sport TT Race 2 at 2 p.m. And once again there was a case of deja vu as the man who dominated the first race last weekend, Michael Dunlop, did so again. Dunlop secured his 25th TT win and smashed the Super Sport lap record at over 130 miles an hour to go within one victory of the all-time record of 26 held by his uncle Joey Dunlop.
The bike hasn't changed in years. It's just been fantastic. Obviously the new generation bikes make the job a bit harder for us boys with the smaller CCs, but I can't thank the boys enough. Everybody that's put it together. I just decided I would have a wee go at it, and this wee bike's been beauty, and track's perfect, crowd's perfect, everyone's been perfect.
Tomorrow will be a rest day from the race schedule before the action returns on Friday, with the Super Stock TT Race 2 on Friday at 11:45am, followed straight after by the Super Twin TT Race 2 at 2pm.
Manx Radio Travel, driven by Quayside Tyres and Service Centre.
Inbound at Ronald's Way, the 5:25 Loganair from Manchester came in 10 minutes early. Next, Gatwick's 7:15 EasyJet on time. The 10:08 Loganair from London City on time. The 5:08 Loganair returning pension transfer plane from Liverpool on time. And the 9:25 EasyJet from Gatwick, you guessed it, delayed until 9:30 tonight. So outbound, 6 o'clock Loganair to Liverpool's on time. The 8:10 EasyJet to Gatwick is on time, but the 9:05 EasyJet to Gatwick delayed until 10 o'clock. On the road, you heard Alchaligan Road's closed, Lubes Road and the Hope because of that incident, and the Ballymena Road's got phase closures for water main replacement. Of course, remember, out of hours, out of racing and practice hours, cycling remains prohibited on the mountain road.
Quayside Tyres and Service Centre. Spread your payments interest-free. Get more with
Quayside. So what are the opportunities like for female competitors wanting to take part in the TT? The question put today to Jenny Tinmouth, the fastest female rider in the history of the races, who explained her experience of getting involved in racing on the Snaefell Mountain course.
I think there's definitely more. I know it's not like a 50-50 split, is it? But the good thing I've always said, and when everybody asks me, is that there's never any barriers for women to do this. There's never really been any, so it's completely open. It's a case of if you want to come and do it, definitely come and do it. And yeah, there's nothing stopping anybody, and that's what I like about the paddock. When I first started, everybody was so friendly, so encouraging, and so wanting to help me. Everybody helps each other, and I love the motorcycling community for that, because everybody just helps each other out.
And what you need are role models, and like you would be one of those, Jenny, and it's amazing, I suppose, to think that you might have encouraged other girls and women to want to take it up.
I hope so. That would be great. I do remember lots of dads coming with their sons and their daughters, and the dads were saying, "Oh, my lad's not so much into it, he's into his football, but my girl, she loves it." So, and then you're looking now, I think there's 8 females in the British Championship in the 300 class, and one in the 600s and one in the BMW Cup. I think there's more than we've ever had, so there's definitely a ruck of girls coming through, and it's great to see.
So you just mentioned about the thing, obviously the FHO guys, with Maria and of course Faye, they have their own academy as well, don't they?
Yeah, Faye's doing a fantastic job of encouraging the females into the sport and giving them that platform. I think for everybody, the guys and the girls, trying to get funding and being able to showcase what you do to encourage sponsors in is one of the difficulties, and she's given the girls a platform straight away from her team environment that they can showcase what they're doing and let the world know what they're doing and encourage the sponsors in. Unfortunately, it is a expensive sport, especially the higher up you go, and you need funds and sponsors to do it, and it's fantastic what she's doing for these girls, and even for the guys. She's doing it for everybody, and we're so lucky to have her in our motorcycle racing paddock.
Update brought to you by Simcox Advocates.
Fast by 6 minutes before 6, and remember to like Manx Radio on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you use Twitter or LinkedIn, follow Manx Radio. Well, there's thrills and fun, and in this year's TT, sadness. Tributes have been paid to a Spanish TT racer who was killed in yesterday's Super Twin race.
Yesterday evening, the Spaniard Raul Torras lost his life during the Super Twin race. Raul was the fastest Spaniard ever over the mountain course, and just a few hours earlier he had achieved his ambition of a top 20 finish in a TT race. He was also a hugely popular member of the racing community, and he'll remain in the hearts of us all. Our thoughts are with his family and all those who were close to him. And today, we race for Raul.
The words there of Radio TT commentator Ashley House, who opened race day number 4 at TT 2023 with a tribute to the Spanish racer. The 46-year-old died after an incident at Alpine between the 16th and 17th mile markers on the third and final lap. TT organisers have described him as an incredibly popular member of the paddock family, adding that he had an infectious smile and his love for the TT and the sport of road racing was apparent to anyone who was fortunate enough to meet him. Manx racer Connor Cummins described him as a top bloke who he was proud to call a friend. British superbike rider Glenn Irwin paid his tribute too, describing him as charismatic and passionate. The TT's business development manager Paul Phillips says Raul was someone who lived for the TT, describing him as a gentleman in every way. He also shared the final email exchange he'd had with him, in which the rider wrote, "Count on me for anything. It will be a pleasure, a privilege and a pride to be part of the TT."
That's it from Update Tonight, compiled from the resources of Manx Radio's news department. Thanks to newsreader Siobhan Fletcher, producer Rhiann Evans. Update returns tomorrow evening at 5:30.
WINT